It's been a while since I've been on these. Um, yeah, so we are here. We're live. I'm looking to answer your questions. Just a reminder, I can only answer your questions over on YouTube, not on LinkedIn. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, you're just a voyeur today. But if you go over to YouTube, you can watch us live there and you can post your questions in the chat. So, what do I like to do on this session? When I get to do these group coaching sessions, I don't get a lot of free time to do them. But when I do, I like to talk obviously about what you can be doing on LinkedIn right now. There's a huge algorithm shift here on this platform. I talk about it all the time. And because LinkedIn is essentially a free platform, it's just crazy for people not to understand how to utilize these changes that they've made because they're very powerful, especially if you're looking for work. So if you're somebody who's looking to change jobs, or even if you got a new job, shout out to all the folks out there that got a new job. But if you got a new job and you're saying, I want to get board seats, I want to get speaking opportunities, I want to get other sources of income, the way all organizations are going to find you is through LinkedIn because it's a validation tool. It's an authentication and a verification tool. So when they see you posting and commenting, they know that you're human. They know that you're real as opposed to a fake bot. AI has taken over the world. It's very difficult to validate people are human. And so LinkedIn is becoming a very important part of that process. So for me, it's about teaching you how to do that. All right, so if you have questions, you want to put it in the over on the chat, which is great, and I can answer them for you. Otherwise, I mean, I can just sit here and hang out with you and talk about LinkedIn all day and give you tips and folks. Give me a shout out. LinkedIn. Yesterday, I had a huge training that I did that was super fun, and it was called 20 LinkedIn posts that will. We have instant access to because it's really key, you know. Hold on. Sending them to voicemail. I don't know why my phone's going off. Awesome. Let's see. So we've got a question here from Hunter. So let's get started with questions, and you guys can check out that event that I did yesterday in the chat. Hunter says, I'm curious, do most people break into HR through networking and referrals rather than formal applications? And is it still common or effective approach to approach small businesses directly? So, you know, Hunter, things have really changed, not just in the last year, but in, say, the last 6 months. And the reality is that applying online just doesn't work. So if you're trying to get into an industry or into a field, applying online isn't going to work for you. The thing that you have to talking about those skills and abilities in LinkedIn is going to help you get hired faster. It's a validation tool, like I said in the beginning of this session. So it is really important that you back channel, but that you're also using LinkedIn as a way to say, hey, I'm interested in this field. I'm interested in this industry. This is what I know about it. This is why I'm a good fit for the job. Sound good? All right, let's take this question from Tom. How long does it take for the algorithm to recognize your post? You mentioned doing 20 posts, so will it take 20 days for the algo to start recognizing things? Oh, I love that question, Tom. That's a really great question. So what jobs you're interested in, what kind of content you buy. Because the industry you want to be in, the level of job that you want, the location that you want, the things that you want, no two people are the same. So if anyone ever made you that promise, they're lying to you. But what I can say is this is what I know for sure about the algorithm. It rewards consistency. Call it work it daily for a reason. I mean, anybody else listening to this. Because this doesn't take all day. It makes my day. Thomas, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we got some incredible feedback. Like but yes, yesterday was not only exciting to help people understand how it works, but to reveal the fact that we have this agent after 2 years of working on it. Pretty exciting. Yeah. So you're going to be seeing a lot more about the Pro Voice agent and how it's helping people literally take all the guesswork out of what they should post in order to get recruiters to contact them. So thank you for coming to the session. That means a lot. By the way, just so you all know, all the sessions, we make them, the premium sessions, we make them available for standalone purchase. So you can purchase that session and get instant access. It's down below, link down below. But you should also know when you subscribe and become a member of my program, not only do we have 5 live sessions a week, a career course library, coaching, the Pro Voice agent, all of these tools for one membership price, kind of like a gym membership, you also get free access to the paid events. So if you are looking for truly a resource that's going to help you with all aspects of your career, especially when it comes to LinkedIn, you should really look at potentially subscribing to us. But if you're not ready yet, again, I would argue check out the 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers. It's linked down below. Literally, we've been told it's probably the best training that we've ever done, which I'm super proud of. So awesome. Okay, let's see. Question here. How do most people land jobs at small businesses? Do they usually walk in, apply online, or is it a combination of both? Yeah, that's a good question. Not every small business wants you to walk in. You kind of have to be careful about that. There was a day, where it was totally okay to walk in. Not every company wants you walking in their front door saying, "Hey, can I leave my resume?" It can feel a little cheesy. I think you have to be careful with that. it's really better to maybe even call and say, I'm super interested. Could I drop a resume off? Is there someone I could contact? Here's why I'm a fan of your company. So I might look at it that way. And by far, the safest and best way is a referral. If you know someone who works there or someone can introduce you to someone who works there, that really is the best route to go. I would still be a little careful about walking in the front door. Let's see. This one is from Thomas. How can you position yourself if you still want to get hired for a full-time position, but you also want to be available for contract or fractional work? So I would definitely list fractional and contract in your headline. You don't need to list full-time. That's a given. Some people get worried, like this is like a false thought process. So I had a bunch of people say to me, well, I want to be considered for full-time jobs, but if I put fractional or contract in, then they're only going to think of me for that. That's not how recruiters think. Recruiters, if they have a full-time job and they think you fit the bill, they're going to reach out to you about that. Where you'll miss out is if you actually don't tell them that you're also considering fractional or contracts. So I would add fractional or contract to the very end of your headline. You know how we teach you, Thomas, with the vertical line dividers, like all of your skill sets? At the very end, you could put fractional and contract, just those words, just so that you're searchable on that. You don't need to make any great explanations, nothing like that. Okay. Is the ProVoice agent available for all members, member levels? It is not. It is not available for the standard membership. And the reason ProVoice agent is only available for Premium Academy is because we want you to have coaching to go with it. The coaches actually run your stuff through the agent and send you the reports because they want to work with you in it. We're not just going to give people random ProVoice reports and say, go do your own thing. We want to make sure that you're doing the right thing with it. So that is why we've only made it available, the AI tool, to our Premium and our Academy members. Yeah. So if anytime you want to upgrade, you can upgrade and downgrade in our program. I would strongly encourage you to upgrade to Premium for a month, get your ProVoice agent, materials, your report, work with the coaches on it. It's going to be the best money you've ever spent in terms of really getting you set up. And at the very least, you would then have 20 posts. You would know what to do, and then you could downgrade again and continue to working with the framework. Yeah, but at this time, it's only available. It's an exclusive access thing. We're not going to make it out there available to the public at this time. Not to say we might not in the future, but right now it's only for Premium and Academy. But I promise you it's worth it. I don't know if you were in the session yesterday, we showed you what the report looks like. It's incredible. So what it does is we can look at job descriptions of jobs that you're 100% fit for. We can pull out the most critical skill sets, make a job matching matrix of how you as a professional completely match, meet, or exceed all the expectations of that job. And then based on that, create 20 LinkedIn posts in the content formats, showcasing your expertise as it validates against the top skills of those jobs. All done in like one tool in a matter of minutes. So it's why it took 2 years to build. Yeah, that's why it took what to build. Cool. All right. Again, if you're watching on LinkedIn really quick, I do not answer questions on LinkedIn. I only answer them on YouTube. So what you can do is head over to our YouTube live stream. And if you always want to know when I'm going live with these, down below, there's a place where you can sign up. It's totally free, but we send you a notification because I never know when I'm going live. I don't have a lot of time to do free sessions, but when I can go live, I send you out a reminder about 60 minutes beforehand. And you can also watch the recording there as well. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So what else can I answer for you, my friends? What else can I answer? How are we all doing on LinkedIn? Are we posting regularly? Are you posting relevant content so that you can be found? Do you know what you want to be found for? And I think you have to do a little, that's what yesterday's session was about. Hey, what do I want to be found for? What kind of jobs are important to me? And then what skills do they need for those jobs? And then how can I present that I have those skills so that the algorithm reads it and says, oh, look, this person's real. They're posting on a regular basis. They're a human, and they're talking about the skill sets that we need for this job. Let's rank them higher in the search results, right? That's what we're trying to make happen in that process. Let's see. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne says, I like to customize my resume for the job I'm applying to. Sometimes this looks different from my LinkedIn profile. Is this creating suspicion in the minds of hiring managers and recruiters? 100%. 100%. Because they don't trust your resume anymore because people are creating so many fake resumes. So they're going over to LinkedIn to verify you. And when it doesn't match, you're not being selected. But I'm just also going to be really honest with you, Suzanne. Studies show right now you have a 0.4% chance of getting a job by applying online. So To me, tweaking your resume is a full-blown waste of your time. You should just stop. It's not helping you. You should have one master resume. That's it. And it should be consistent with your LinkedIn, because tweaking your resume is probably the least productive. And I hate to say this to you, but I'm glad you brought it up, because just for the record, Suzanne, there's a whole bunch of other people here who are wasting hours a day tweaking their resume for jobs they're never going to get. Like, it's just because that's familiar and what they told you to do in the past, you need to understand it does not work now. So I have good news. You can stop doing it. Stop. It's so stressful and it's so agonizing. Like, what should I put on there? How should I tweak it? When it doesn't matter. Zero. It matters zero, Suzanne. You can let go of that technique and you can focus on LinkedIn instead. I promise you're going to get much better results. Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet. I always get at least really great point from you. Well, that is why I do these, Thomas. Yeah, that is why I do these. And then feeling the algorithm change. Yeah, I have a lot of people coming to me right now. It's funny. The algorithm changed in the end of October of 2025. So if you think about that, November, December, January. So most people are kind of getting back into it in February. So they made the change when LinkedIn's activity level was its lowest, because the holidays hit and people kind of check out. So now everyone's coming back to it and going, what the heck is going on? I am in my inbox every day. I don't know if you've been hearing this ding. Like, so many former clients and other people that I know that are really high up in the industry are coming to me going, JT, what's going on? And I think it's funny because they know that this is what I do and I've been talking about it nonstop. And they're like, everything's just stopped. And I'm like, no, the algorithm changed. Have you listened to what I've been saying about the algorithm change, right? Like, people just, I don't know if they don't want to believe it or what, but yeah, the shift is really, really big. Yeah. Oh, all right. So first of all, congratulations, Suzanne. By the way, Suzanne, as a premium member at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, I am doing an Ask Me Anything. I want you to come to my session if you've got time, right? 3 p.m. You'll get full access to it in the platform. So come to my session. We'll celebrate. We'll talk a lot more about that, and you'll immediately get to start doing coaching with the Pro Voice agent. So congratulations on becoming a member. I'm super happy for you. That's amazing. Let's see. How much details should LinkedIn profile have? All the details. So I did last month, I did a session called the Executive LinkedIn Bootcamp, in which I showed you top to bottom what to do in your profile. You don't put everything that you've ever done. A big mistake people make is they put way too much information in LinkedIn. It's kind of like the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. People either put too little or too much. They never get it just right. It's about keyword optimization and making it very readable. So what I mean by that is that recruiters' studies show spend about 6 to 13 seconds skimming your LinkedIn profile across and down. They're going to look at your headline, your about section, and your work history. And so in that moment, making it possible for them to very quickly go check, 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 check. This person has the 6 to 10 skill sets we were told to look for is the goal. You don't put everything you did. You don't put big wordy paragraphs. You set it up in a way that it's very readable. And that's a big part of what we teach. So when you join our program, we have something called the 7-day jumpstart. And in that, there's the LinkedIn Fast Fix, where we show you how to fix your profile. So my advice to you, if you're not a member, is you've got to simplify your profile, but make sure it's keyword optimized. And very quickly, I can read it and know what your specialties are. Does that make sense? Yeah. And if you need any help with that, you should really go over and check out our training on that. Do you recommend posting content if you're targeting small businesses? Yes. Because the small businesses hunter might not be on LinkedIn heavily looking for you, but they are going to look you up. So if you could get connected to people at these small businesses and send them your LinkedIn, they're going to check it out. So that's a way for you to really show them that you're passionate about the subject and you know what you're doing. Yeah. How many details should you learn? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Deborah, the rule of thumb on work history is 3 to 5 bullet points tops. The bullet point should be no more than 1 line to 2 lines long, and each one should have a number in it. So you're not explaining how you did things or what you did, you're explaining what the results were. So every recruiter needs to see numbers and quantification. And a big thing that we teach in our program is how to quantify your experience, because that's very vital for a recruiter to be able to validate that you can do what they need. So 3 to 5 bullet points, 1 line to 2 lines long top, no big dense paragraphs for bullet points. They should be simple. They should be 1 line, and they should have numbers in them, which is my result. You don't have to tell them everything you did. They know that those 3 to 5 bullet points mean you've done a lot more than that. and they're going to be intrigued to find out, hey, these are pretty interesting results numbers. Let me go ask her how she got it done. That's how you get the phone call. Make sense? Will I be running the LinkedIn Bootcamp again? I don't need to, because we made it evergreen. So if you look down below, if you're here on LinkedIn or if you're here on YouTube, the Executive LinkedIn Bootcamp is now available for instant access. You can purchase it and get instant access, as is yesterday's event, the 20 LinkedIn posts that attract job offers. So we know that some people are kind of afraid to invest in a membership. They don't want a monthly subscription. So the one-time payment and instant access with the workbooks are available for those two events down below. I'm just going to be honest with you though. If you decide to subscribe to us with a monthly subscription, you can cancel at any time and you get access to all of those for free. So, the Executive LinkedIn Bootcamp's $59, the 20 LinkedIn post is $49. Our standard membership starts at $39 and our premium membership starts at $79. So you could sign up for premium today for $79, get both of those, which now would have cost you $100, and the Pro Voice agent, and 5 lives a week, and unlimited coaching for $79. So our premium membership is our single best investment because you're getting absolutely everything that you need. But if you're not ready, again, you can purchase one event, single basis, and work through that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I know it's again, you can go right in, like you can subscribe, but you can cancel at any time. You go right into the platform and there's a billing and you can cancel your billing. It's no big deal. We just find that the subscription model is a way for us to, it's like a gym membership. We can give you access to us 5 times a week, to coaching, to the live events, to our career library, to our agent. Like we can put it all in one roof when we have a subscription. So, but as far as the trainings go, sometimes people just want to do the one-off trainings. So we offer those too. Awesome. Is it helping everyone? I mean, I can't stress it enough. Like, that 6 months ago, we pivoted our entire business. I ended up writing a book called Pro Voice. It's top 50. I'm very proud on Amazon for career and job search. And then we pivoted our entire business model to building Pro Voice. And now everything is around it because I've known about this for a couple of years, LinkedIn as a client. And I knew where this was going and was like, I'm not going to teach people how to do a resume anymore because it's not going to matter, right? And I'm not going to teach you how to do cover letters anymore because they're not going to matter. What matters is you knowing how to be visible. And so we pivoted our entire business to make sure that we could teach you how to get visible. And that was it's a pretty big thing to change your business. I don't know if any of you have ever run a business before. That was a massive shift on our part. It was a big risk, but we knew like we were not going to be able to help people anymore. Helping you with your resume is a waste of time. Helping you with cover letters is a waste of time. Teaching you how to document yourself on LinkedIn so you get found by recruiters, but also quick side product. When you learn how to document yourself on LinkedIn, it actually prepares you for job interviews. One of the biggest things our clients have said is once they start posting and they get job interviews, they're like, I'm crushing job interviews because I'm just talking about the stuff that I already put in my feed. So it's like a 2 for the price of 1 when you do this. So if you're somebody that like gets anxious in interviews because you don't know what to say, you absolutely should be learning our techniques and documenting yourself, because that documentation is actually preparing you for those job interviews. I cannot tell you how many people have like gotten jobs because of that. And when you're prepared for job interviews, you become the must-have candidate. They're willing to spend more money on you. So if you want to be able to negotiate a salary, you've got to be a good interviewer. You want to be a good interviewer, you've got to document yourself to be found. And it all ties together. This is why we're so obsessed with it, because it's such an efficient way to get people to the next level. Yeah. Do you think the job market is really bad right now? I've been told to keep working while applying online. Yeah, please don't quit a job that you have. This is the worst job market I've ever seen in 30 years because it's not being properly reported. Okay, so the way that they calculate the unemployment rate is actually incorrect. And it is very disparate, meaning not equal, from blue collar to white collar. So there is a much higher unemployment rate for white collar college educated workers right now. And those are jobs that generally pay more money, right? Far fewer of those jobs. On top of that, if you are working in a job to pay your bills, but you're not working at the level you should be, that's called underemployment. We have the highest rate of underemployment we've seen in my entire lifetime. So this is absolutely a horrible job market. And one of the reasons that they're not putting the job market numbers out right now, they're claiming, issues, is because they don't want to scare the public about how bad the job market is. Do not quit a job you have. If you have supplemental jobs, please keep them. This will not last forever. AI will create another rush of jobs. It's just not going to happen for the next, 12 to 18 months. I'm being brutally honest. It's going to be rough. By the way, doesn't mean they're not hiring. It's just that no company is going to put a job on a job board right now because they don't want 10,000 applicants. So all of the hiring that's actually happening is happening quiet hiring. Remember, we talked about the hidden job market. Quiet hiring is when recruiters quietly get on LinkedIn and find people to contact. So if you want to be part of the quiet hiring era, you have to be visible on LinkedIn. This is why we're so committed to this, because the market is so bad. Yeah. Do you think you should ever include significant life experiences such as being a power of attorney, planning next of kin funeral, getting people safely out of building? Not if it's not relevant to your work. It's not that those aren't important things. It's just that anything you put on there, a recruiter is going to analyze and assume that means you want to use that in your next job. That's actually a really great thing. I'm glad you brought this up because I think it's something I really want to share for you. Anything you put on your LinkedIn, on your profile, a recruiter is going to look at and go, oh, so you want to use that in your next job. So if that's not relevant to the job they need, they're going to not count you. So that's why you don't want to overshare on a platform like LinkedIn, and you really want to only keep it to the skill sets that relate to the jobs that you want. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I love this little validation. Right, Thomas, right? Now that you're posting, your thoughts are so clear on what to say and how to say it. You're not going to stammer in an interview, right? Like you're so excited to talk about it because you've already talked about it on your LinkedIn profile in your feed, right? I love that you commented that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties getting live today, so I'm going to stay on a few minutes more. Again, my LinkedIn people, I don't answer your questions over there. I only answer them over on YouTube. So you've got to come over to YouTube. And also, you'll see the link down below. When you sign up for my free group coaching sessions, you'll get notified 60 minutes before I go live with the YouTube link. And you'll be able to watch the recording after. So it's totally free to sign up. You'll get the reminder. You can come over and you can ask your questions there. Okay. Awesome. Just a reminder, because I know my LinkedIn folks often message me after and say, why didn't you answer my question? And it's like, because I don't answer them on LinkedIn. I only answer them on YouTube. Yeah. But I do have a few more minutes. About 5 more minutes before I have to bounce, unfortunately. So if you do have questions, let me know. And again, for any of you that have signed up for a membership or a member, I go live at 3 p.m. today exclusively for members. So if you go over and sign up for Work It Daily today, you can come to my session. By the way, we do have a 7-day free trial on the standard membership. So if you just kind of want to get a taste of us, you can get our standard membership. You can upgrade at any time. It does not give you access to the Pro Voice agent, and it does not give you access to the coaching team. But it does give you our career library. It does give you access to my 5 free sessions a week, my live trainings during the week. We do this afternoon, I'll be doing an Ask Me Anything. And we really help you across the way. So if you've ever thought about joining us, today might be the day, in order to join and come to my live session. But if not, again, our standalone events down here that you can purchase are there as well. So be sure to check that out because we'd love to help you. And I want to say thank you to everyone that asked a question today. These sessions are only good if people ask questions. You know what I mean? Like somebody asked a question today and you're like, gee, I wouldn't have thought of that. And that's exactly why I like to do these. Because I think if you get, as it was said earlier, if you get like one good thing out of these 30 minutes, then hopefully it's changed the game for you. Okay. Hey, Brandy, if someone is currently working in a project-focused role and wants to transition into HRIS, what skills, experience, or projects actually make the biggest difference? Yeah. So here's what if you were in my program as a premium member, I'm just going to walk you through what I would do. You can do this on your own, but I'm going to tell you how we as career coaches would do this for you. First thing we'd have you do, Brandy, is find us 3 HRIS jobs that you think you're a fit for, like that you'd like to do that you're a fit for. We would take those 3 job descriptions and we would run it through the Pro Voice agent to determine the 15 most critical skill sets, and we would have it rank them, meaning what is the most critical skill set for HRIS all the way down to the least critical out of those top 15, okay? We would then take your LinkedIn profile, which would need to be optimized. So you would go through our training and make sure that you've optimized it for keywords like I talked about earlier. And we would say, match Brandy against these 15 skills. Tell us how Brandy meets or exceeds each of these, and do it by quantifying her experience. So we would look for gaps, right? The Pro Voice agent would say, hey, out of the 15, she's got, 11 of the skill sets, but here are 4 that she doesn't have. This would then tell you where you should go stop those gaps with either certifications or training or something that you could do to try to be able to say, I have some exposure, some experience to this, right? Now, while you're doing that, we still have skill sets that you're a match for. And so then you would build a content strategy around HRIS that you would put into LinkedIn, letting them know, hey, I have these skills, these abilities as it relates to HRIS. Because The algorithm cares less about whether it sees HRIS work history and cares more about whether you are talking about HRIS in your LinkedIn feed. Let me say that again to everybody. It is less about the work history posted in your profile, the algorithm, and it is more about what you're talking about in your feed. So for Brandy, if she starts talking about HRIS and how she relates to it using our formats, the algorithm is going to pick that up while she's still working on closing her gap in knowledge, right? That's how you're going to want to pivot that as effectively as possible. Does that make sense, Brandy? Hopefully that made sense. Yeah, cool. That was a really good question, by the way, because I think like that's probably one of our favorite things to do with the Pro Voice Agent and our premium members is if they're changing careers or if they're switching industries, how do they properly put their information in the feed? Because you can't physically change it on your profile. You can't make up that you work somewhere when you didn't. You can't say that you have industry experience when you didn't. But you can, as we all know, articulate why you are fully qualified to do that by talking about your transferable skills in a way in the feed that proves that you could do that job. And this is why people less qualified are getting jobs via LinkedIn over people who are more qualified. The less qualified people are figuring out how to use the feed as a way to get found, right? You got to get found to get hired. And so the less qualified people are gaming the system. And hey, I'm here for it. Because all's fair in love and war. It's a huge job search competition right now. And the people who are willing to stop doing the familiar, applying online, which doesn't work, and willing to learn and get out of their comfort zone and learn what we're teaching them should win. I'm sorry, they should win. It's not the most qualified. There are too many people that are as qualified as you. So it can't be a question of who's the best because there's no single best person for any one job right now. There's hundreds of people for any one job. There's thousands of people for any one job. So when there's that many people who are equally qualified, it goes to the person that has made themselves visible. And it goes to the person that got in front of the hiring manager. That's how you win. And that's what people can do with LinkedIn. Yeah. And on that note, I got to go bounce. It's been really fun hanging out with you. So for those of you that have signed up for a membership, I'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that are looking for additional help and aren't ready for a membership, we've got the 20 LinkedIn posts and the Executive LinkedIn Bootcamp down below, one-time payment. And if you're still not ready for any of that, hopefully you got inspired today and you'll sign up for free to come to my group sessions. Again, I never know when I'm going to go live, but I promise 60 minutes beforehand, I'll send you a link. It'll bring you over to the YouTube where you can ask questions and you'll be able to watch the recording at least. Okay? All right, amazing. And again, thank you to everyone that asked a question today and hung out with me while we had a little tech difficulties. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm really, really glad that you came by today. All right, you guys got this. You can do it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.